Hip.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Don't try that. I am unique. I don't know how to go into it.
This was your idea.
I know it. So you're just gonna leave me hanging today? You're just gonna leave me to dry. This video is sponsored by
My hole.
Look at that hole. That takes you back.
What's up, guys? My name is Kyron, aka MetroONE, aka GaymerONE, and I am not me. I feel like Macari now at the beginning of a Dragon video.
I know that bitch wasn't talking about me. I know she wasn't fucking wasn't.
The Sweet Talker's uncut.
Yes.
I shouldn't have started with that mean energy.
Well, you about to be mean anyway.
I'm not about to be mean. I love this game. Welcome to a world led by a space fighter, Samus Aran. She is a fighter who just so happens to be a woman. It changed the game. Metroid Dread is what we're talking about today. But first, guys, check it. It is so important to hit the subscribe button, like, and share to, I tell everybody on my Twitch, to share to at least 2 friends. That's it. That's all we ask. You know what I'm saying? It helps us get into the algorithm. It helps us do our thing, so we very much appreciate that. It took almost 20 years for this game to come out. The last Metroid game was Metroid Fusion in 2002. It took from 2002 until 2022, 20 years for this game to come out. And it's kind of on the same track that we were on with Pokemon, right? Nostalgia. Nostalgia makes us feel good. Nostalgia's hot. It's hot. I don't want to go back and feel bad, right? We go back for good times. Most people are returning back to that kind of stuff because life is hard, right? Sequels and remakes are resurging at crazy rates, and this is in the movie industry, but this is especially true in the gaming industry. The Resident Evil series. Silent Hill has another remake coming out. They're remaking games that don't even need to be remade, in my opinion, like Last of Us remake, for example. In my opinion, that game didn't need to be touched. Not at all. That is not a progressive change. They may have added some things and changed some of the graphics, but it did not need to be touched. But as we know, they have the show coming out, and so they kind of want to tie that in and squeeze as much money as they can out of that. The profit is proving the point, right? They're making money. I mean, games are selling remakes in the millions of copies, not, 500,000-600,000 copies, not a modest even 200,000 copies. In Metroid Dread, it's the freaking best-selling Metroid game, period, that's been out in its 36-year run. 2.9 million copies sold. Right now, we're in a profit over quality system. That's where we are. They're experimenting on us to see how far that they can push this. How far can we just give trash and half-ass? Is this right just because it's making money? Nostalgia is something that people want and people need. It's hot. But are we making changes? Leading us to the game itself. When a game gives you a secondary title or adds onto it, I like to look into it so I can see why, I looked up Dread. I'm a definition queen. And it means great fear or apprehension. When you play the game, you start to begin to realize why it is called Metroid Dread. I think it has a double meaning. It took 20 years between Metroid Fusion, that came out in 2002, to now for this game to come out. This game was in development and canceled a few times too because it wasn't what Nintendo wanted. Dread, fear, and apprehension. They were afraid. But it makes sense that they would be afraid that this game didn't work. Not all Metroid games had worked. The other M was not that good. Is this game, Metroid Dread, something that progressively pushes the needle forward while at the same time nodding back to nostalgia? Because that's what we want, right? That's what I feel is the best compromise. Because I'm not going to sit here and say, all I want is progressive changes, because then you get games like Final Fantasy 12, and I feel like I'll mention that every video from here on out. But then you get games like Final Fantasy 12 where it completely fails and falls down the toilet. But we're stuck in a rut. 1986, guys. They busted the damn shit down when they revealed at the end of the game, of course, if you beat it in enough time, that Samus Aran was in fact a woman. It changed the game. The original inspiration for the look of Samus, and that has changed completely. If you see any recent pictures of Samus, she's giving very much some O'Hara in somebody's drag family. But the original inspiration was Sigourney Weaver in Aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
I always like to look at, hey, are they including us? You know, POC, queer. The only way I can look at inclusivity is just to say that they change it and make it new and colorful, and their audience isn't one group, it's everybody. We all know Samus is a lesbian, so that just solves that issue. This isn't one of those games, right? All jokes aside, Samus is a white woman, blonde hair. I believe she has blue eyes. You know, 1986. You know, she fights aliens. This game is inclusive because it doesn't try to be. Sometimes you don't have to try, you just are. So with the graphics, man, trying to make progressive changes with graphics, you can only push it as far as the system will let you. But this is one of the most polished games I have seen on the Switch. It runs at 60 FPS most of the time. There are clear drops. I was playing it earlier today just to kind of get my mind revved back up, and Chase even saw one of the drops. The game looks so smooth. Undocked, all Nintendo games are going to look smoother. They're going to run a little bit better. But even on TV, it's gorgeous. It feels like its own thing. And I've played a lot of, I think I've beaten the most games I've beaten this year, about 8. It didn't feel like anything I've seen or played. And this is on a system that I have a lot to say about. They changed the game when they first started with this and introduced it. And I think they are still changing the game with Metroid Dread. Going into things like gameplay, remember I said 60 FPS? It runs smooth, and you need it to. This is a fast game. This is one of the shortest Metroid games, and that's one of the main things that people criticize, right? But it's fast. It feels so quick. I mean, there are some boss fights where you go in and you're like, shit, am I gonna do this? Am I gonna win? Guys, I swear to God, because I streamed this game in particular. You can find that at twitch.tv/GaymerONE with a 1 at the bottom here. I streamed it. I mean, there were times I was dying 20, 30 times. I'm not even lying. Some of the gameplay is some of the most creative things that I've seen in a game today. One of the main things I'm talking about, EMMI. Extraplanetary Multi-Platform Mobile Identifiers. I don't know where the fuck they thought to put that shit in there. But EMMI enemies, there's 7 throughout the game, and it literally feels like a fucking horror game. You are terrified. It finds a way to put stealth and horror in a side-scroller. That blows my mind. I have not played something like that. It's not just the standard side-scroller where you shoot. Like, I mean, they slow it down and you are literally running, sweating, itching under your titties and screaming because these motherfuckers are chasing you. It's unbelievable. The boss fights. I think they have a boss rush mode, and I think there are about 12 boss fights. Always creative. Always as creative as Metroid has been, but these are some of the best. And there are some changes. There are changes in the way they structure, and I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but it's not the same shit. It is different. It's thrilling. I'm telling you right now, this game is $60, and you can beat it about 8 to 10 hours. And although that's like, damn, $60 for a game you can beat 8 to 10 hours, the replay value alone is amazing, and it is thrilling. Even the mechanics, leveling, looting, the way the levels are designed, and the mechanics of the levels, and how you get past these puzzles, and they introduce some things that help you change the way that Metroid puzzles work. It is platforming gold. In the upgrades, you get your upgrades, and it changes your suit. There are upgrades that I haven't gotten, and I've beaten the game, and I didn't even realize it. There are some puzzles that you literally look at and be like, bitch, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? Are you joking? It's wild. They change it. They change the game. It feels like no game I have played, and I've played a few side-scrollers this year. They changed the game, and that's why I get so mad when you put out something like this, and it's great, and it's progressive, and it nods to nostalgia, and then you give me crap like Pokemon. It hasn't changed. That add gimmicks, not progressive changes. They're a difference, and then you get all excited about, oh, they did this. It's gonna change again because it's a damn gimmick. It's not progressive at all. There's this resurgence of nostalgic gaming experiences. That's okay. That is okay. I watch fucking old Rugrats shows, and sometimes you try to change and make things new, but I love that. But how are you changing it and making it evolve so that I don't feel like you're just trying to give me something that I've had before and charging me more money? This is about progressive-based experiences and enhancements. Dread did that. It did what Pokemon couldn't do. Pokemon hasn't changed. This nods to nostalgia while at the same time making changes. Having that same map that doesn't tell you where to go. Having the story start out, you're all powerful, and then some reason Samus gets her ass kicked and loses her shit.
Get it? Did I tell you?
It happens every time. It happens in every game. And that's what we love. We want to see that same shit happen over and over again. It gives us a reason to play the game. The journey for Samus has been a long one. 1986 to now is about 36 years, or exactly 36 years. I was in Math 100, so don't quote me, you ass. It's been on a 36-year journey. This is the last and the final story arc in the series, the original series. Now, Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is its own thing, which will be coming out. Metroid Prime 4 is releasing on the Switch at some point in the future. But I want you to know that this story can continue with how creatively they wrapped this up. Metroid Dread is a great game. Please check it out and buy it if you haven't already. And if you haven't beaten it, stop what you're doing now, stop buying games, and go knock it off your backlog. Period. I love this game. I believe that this game made progressive changes while also paying homage to nostalgia. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. Check it. We have a lot of good stuff on this network. A lot of good stuff is coming. We appreciate you guys for watching. My last two videos themselves have reached over 100 views, and to some people that's not a lot, but that's dope to me. Comment. Talk to me. Do you think it sucks? Do you hate it? Do you think that this is the worst game you've ever played? See it in the comments, because that helps us get an algorithm. My name is Kyron Turner, aka Mr. One, aka GaymerONE. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this sweet topic. Have a great day. Cut it.
That actually's not bad. I'm not bad at
No,
this.
actually, turn it off. Turn it off. This week we're talking about the cons and cons of Final Fantasy XII. Kyron, I thought it was supposed to be pros and cons. Well, seeing as this game has not a lot of them, because it is the worst Final Fantasy game I have ever played in my life.